YouTube, what's going on? Woody P coming back with another one. Let's get it. You know what time it is. I'm up at the bleachers. We got round 5 versus, B-Dawk versus John Lynch. You know I got to keep the fire coming. We're going to continue with the safeties. Yeah, this going to be a good one. I'm at the bleachers and I ain't fumbling the rock. B-Dawk versus John Lynch. Why am I doing these two guys? These two guys were some of the biggest hitters in the late 90s, early 2000s, and they played on the nastiest defenses. That Philly defense was nasty late 90s, early 2000s. Bobby Taylor, Troy Vincent, Jeremiah Trotter, Hugh Douglas, Brian Dawkins. Let's talk about it. John Lynch played with that Tampa Bay defense. We know that what they could do on defense. Won a Super Bowl early 2000s, beat the Raiders. Come on, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Rondé Barber, Booger McFarland, Simeon Rice. So, yeah, let's talk football. Yeah, I'm a guru. I love this. So, we're going to talk some ball. And these two teams always met up in the NFC Championship. Eagles versus Buccaneers. So, these two are the biggest hitters in the league, especially late 90s, early 2000s. B-Dawk versus John Lynch. We're going to keep it going with the safeties. Round 5 versus. Round 1, I came with the fire, Charles Woodson versus Champ Bailey. Round 2, I came Darrelle Revis versus Richard Sherman. Round 3, I had Prime Time versus Rod Woodson. Round 4, I started with the safeties, Earl Thomas versus Troy Polamalu. So let's continue with the safeties. B-Dawk versus John Lynch. I'm going to bring the fire. This is the Real Bleacher Report, and I ain't fumbling the rock. So if you're in the ball, stick with me. Before I start the video, please watch the entire video. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel to receive more content like this, just content about sports and various topics. Let's get it. Yeah, let's start with B-Dawk. Let's start with the stats and the accolades. B-Dawk, second round pick out of Clemson, 1996. B-Dawk coming about 6 foot 210. Huge arms. B-Dawk wore that dark visor like these shades. B-Dawk wore that dark visor, put fear in his opponents. You did not want to come across that middle with Brian Dawkins. Now with B-Dawk, he hit you. He do this, yeah. Brian Dawkins bring that fire when he hit you. Yeah, Brian Dawkins punched that ball out. Let's talk about some of his stats and accolades. 36 career forced fumbles, 37 career interceptions, 4-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler, Brian Dawkins. Yeah, this boy, he put some fire in you when he hit you. Brian Dawkins, he come up, when he hit you. Brian Dawkins, you knew when you got hit by Brian Dawkins. Yeah, 4-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler. Like I said, played on that nasty Philly defense. They will always meet Tampa in the NFC Championship, those two teams. Yeah, so some of Brian Dawkins, you know, stats, accolades. Like I said, 4-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler, played 15 seasons. Got to throw a fun fact in here. I throw a fun fact in here with all my verses. John Lynch and Brian Dawkins, they both play for the Broncos. Not at the same time, but they both put on that uniform. So I got to throw a fun fact in here. You know, got to throw a fun fact. That's some of his stats and accolades. Brian Dawkins. Let's get to John Lynch. Let's talk about some of his stats and accolades. Coming to the league 1993 out of Stanford, 3rd round pick. So you know he came into the league with a chip on his shoulder. John Lynch. Oh, that boy, he spear you. He used to lead with his head a lot, John Lynch. He used to lead with his head a lot. He would not be able to play in today's game, John Lynch. He would get kicked out the game every game. John Lynch, he lead with his head, but he's a big hitter. One of my favorite safeties, John Lynch. Talk about some of his stats. Accolades, 2-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler, just like Brian Dawkins. Like I say, he bring that fire when he hits you. Both of these guys are Hall of Famers. John Lynch played on that nasty Tampa Bay defense. They won a Super Bowl, beat the Raiders. Warren Sapp, like I said, Rondé Barber, Simeon Rice, Booger McFarland, Derek Brooks. Come on. That defense is legendary. Yeah, John Lynch, 26 career interceptions, 16 career forced fumbles. Punch that ball out every now and then, John Lynch, but not like B-Dawk. B-Dawk got 36 of them forced fumbles. But yeah, John Lynch, Hall of Famer, like I said, 2-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler. Both of these guys play for the Broncos. John Lynch coming about 6'2", 220. John Lynch, a tall safety. John Lynch, a tall safety. He come up and hit you, though. He come up and hit you. Yeah, that's some of the stats and accolades. Let's get into some of the intangibles. Get some to the intangibles, strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with coverage. Coverage. John Lynch wasn't a big cover guy. Brian Dawkins, he can cover tight ends, but these guys like to hit. They didn't cover that much. They could, but these guys like to hit. But I give Brian Dawkins the slight edge on the coverage because John Lynch, He more so is like an extra linebacker. Brian Dawkins, he'll cover some tight ends. You know, I give him the edge on the coverage. Brian Dawkins, he covers some tight ends, so I give him the edge on that. Tackling. Woo, these boys are some thumpers. These two guys are some thumpers. They come up and hit. They come down and hit. Whew, John Lynch like to spear you. Brian Dawkins like to body slam you. Brian Dawkins would body slam you, man. He really would. He would pick you up and slam you. Brian Dawkins would. And John Lynch, he like to spear you. He lead with his shoulder, lead with his head. He try to take your head off. So it's tough, man. These two thumpers, two big hitters, late 90s, early 2000s. So I give it a draw on the tackling. They big hitters. They not gonna tackle you. They gonna hit you. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna tackle you. They gonna hit you. So it's even with that. So coverage, I give it to Brian Dawkins. Tackling is about even. Playmaking ability. John Lynch didn't, you know, he had 26 career interceptions, 16 forced fumbles. Brian Dawkins, like I said, he punched that ball out, 36 career forced fumbles, 37 career interceptions, 4-time All-Pro. So I give B-Dawk the edge on playmaking ability. He punched that ball out. He get that ball back for Philly. So he get the edge on playmaking ability. IQ to some of the smartest safeties. To the smartest safeties to play the game. Got to be smart playing on some of the top defenses that these guys played on. The Philly defense and that Tampa defense. So IQ, it's hard to call with these two guys. Like I say, they both know the game. Played on that back end. So I give it a draw as far as IQ. As far as, you know, dissecting plays. Both of these guys could do that. Know how plays going to develop, come down and hit. Things like that. So IQ, I give it a draw on the IQ. But Dawkins got him on the coverage, but the tackling about even. Playmaking ability, I give Dawkins that also. IQ, it's tough. I say it's about a draw. But two of the big hitters, late 90s, early 2000s. Two of my favorite safeties, NFC Championship. These two teams always met up, Philly and Tampa Bay. So round 5 versus, you know, I keep the fire coming. It's the Real Bleacher Report, and I ain't from the Rock. Let me know what you think between these two guys, two of the hardest hitters in the game. So let me know what you think. You know I ain't gonna stop. Don't knock another one out. Bow, bow, bow. Let's get it.